It's been a while since a plastic kit manufacturer released a super exciting kit, at least for me, from a modern supercar. This time it is Revell with the new Revuelto, very suiting. Let's jump into the box, see what it's all about, and hopefully move on to building this one pretty soon. But from what I've seen so far, it's not all that bad and looks like a pretty good kit, specifically compared to the kits we are used to from Alpha Model, PZY, etc. being incredibly expensive. I do prefer these types of kits over those kits, but it seems those kinds of manufacturers are the only ones producing kits of modern and or new cars, so it's a bit of a shame that we have to go that route, but luckily there is a bit of change with this new one from Revell. So let's jump into the box, go over the parts in a quicker fashion, and then move on to them in a bit more detail further on in the video. So first of all, with the new Revell kit, this is a new style of box that I haven't seen from them before, and I do not dislike it at all. It gives you a nice space to store stuff, just pour it in from the top and not from the sides that we're used to with the older Revell Europe kits. Just a really nice change, and it still looks really good. So as usual, on the back there's a couple of images of what you can expect in the kit. The fully finished one, the back, a bit of the interior, and there is an engine too. The instructions are full colored instructions these days from Revell. They have been for a while, and it's a really good change too. As usual, the decals are stuffed in there somewhere in the middle. We'll go over those a bit later. So as you can see, full color. The body is molded in orange, so it's shown in orange here too. The parts that need to be black are painted black, some silvers, some contrasting colors with some black, some silvers, and all the other bits. And then for the interior, to see some of the interior panels you can change. In this case, they've gone for orange, but if you want to do it any other way, then this is the colored part. The rest usually is black and some type of gray, otherwise known as black as well in general. Really clear and super detailed instructions. Again, with all of the kits that I've built on the channel most recently, that's not something we're used to. It's just a general 2-page instruction sheet, smashing it all together. This one is nice and clear and super detailed, and that's really good to see. And at the back, you can see where you can place all of the decals. It comes with a ton of carbon fiber decals. You can use the ones in the kit, or you can change them out for something different, but that is all up to personal preference. As usual, let's start at the bottom and move our way up in a sort of logical way, with the parts being in the sprues they are. So the chassis itself, nicely detailed. It is a supercar, so it is pretty much a flat bottom with a bunch of rivets, nuts, bolts, and some other details like the rear diffuser, but not much more there. On the top side, nothing really to speak of, as everything else will be built up from here, and it just needs to be glued in place. To fill up a couple of those spots in the chassis, there's the front and the rear bit, or the rear and the front bit, and then also some parts for the brake discs to mount to, the wheel hubs, the steering components, and then a bit more for the interior as the seat backs and the engine cover. Now it seems like you can open this one up with the hinges. I'm not really sure if that's going to be aligned perfectly, so you might want to cut them off, but I might be speaking too soon here, so that's all going to be figured out during the build itself. So like I've shown on the box itself, this one comes with an engine, and here is said engine. It is a fully detailed engine all around. I believe the only thing that is missing is the bottom, but that is going to be mounted to that flat and closed chassis pan anyway, so that doesn't really matter all that much. It is nicely detailed from the sides. All of the transmission and transfer cases, etc. are fully detailed too, including the front or the rear, some of the valve covers, and a nice detailed exhaust too. Now the big back box is big and boxy, as that is what it is with the modern cars these days, but that's nothing really special, as most of it will be hidden entirely by the bodywork. Something else that is in here is the disc brakes. They are front and rear, so the front ones have the bigger caliper, the rear ones have the dual caliper. Nicely detailed drilled discs, and they look really good. Now it is a Revell kit, so they are flat and non-detailed from the back. Not a big deal, as you can't see it anyway, but it is something that they could take into consideration, just detailing that out a bit further to give it a bit more depth, but nonetheless, for a kit of this price point, it's really, really nice looking already. So for a fully detailed engine, we also have a fully detailed engine bay. Now, one of the downsides to this being one big main piece, as you can see here, is that all of the tiny small parts are molded in. Now, most likely all of this will be painted black, so you just need to touch up some of the top sections with a bit of silver, a bit of flat black, maybe a bit of gloss or satin black, and that's pretty much it. But they could have gone a little bit further. I do accept, of course, that at the price point of this kit, it is not really doable to have all of these bits in separate parts, as you would need an entire extra sprue, and I don't even want to know what all of that costs. So I get it, but if you've gone this far, maybe go a bit further. But then again, for kids these days, getting into a kit and then having all to do these small bits to glue them all together, losing half of them and messing the other half up, it's probably best to have it just painted black, because it's hidden anyway, but you probably get my point. Now, with that being said, there is some more less detailed bits for the interior, some firewall bits, nothing really all that special. And then, of course, we have the dashboard. We have a right-hand drive and a left-hand drive, so you can choose whichever you want. I'm just going to focus on this one, as I like the left-hand drive versions. The top section is nicely detailed. Again, most of the details are molded into one piece, just to make it less parts and cheaper to produce and a bit harder to paint. But nonetheless, most of these top sections of the dashboard will be done in black anyway. Same with all of the air vents, and you could touch it up with additional clear coats or different sheens of black and gray, but most of it will be black and gray. The bottom half is also nicely detailed, some small buttons, the locks, the latches, and the screens in the center. Really, really nicely done. There are some more bits to spruce all of that up. We have some bits for the headliner, which are nicely detailed, the shifter paddles and the indicators, and also the gas and brake pedal. There is a nicely detailed steering wheel in here too. All of the parts nice, thin, and crisply made, and the same goes for the engine cover. The Lamborghini script is in there, really, really nicely done. And again, most of it is one piece, making it easier. I've said that too many times already, so I'm going to leave it at that. If you're going to go for the left or right-hand drive version, you have different wiper sets included too. And one of the big pieces that is usually a letdown in a Revell kit is the wheels. In this case, the wheels look really, really nice. The fronts are really narrow, the rears are really, really wide, and in general, the detailing on them looks pretty incredible. Now, I'm not entirely sure about the sizing and what they will look like with the tires, but from what I've seen so far, it's actually not that bad and looks pretty good. So I am going to be trying these wheels, as I really do like the design of these wheels. But if you have any other suggestions for some 3D printed versions, do leave me a link and a comment down below in the comment section with the wheels you'd like to see on this build, and maybe some other parts that I should include on it too. So do let me know if you have any alternate suggestions or alternatives, of course. So for the interior, there's a couple more bits. We have the front side of the seats, the door panels, the center console, and the main floor pan, which all of it will be glued to. The seats are two parts. These are the front half. The rears you've already seen. Just glue them on, nothing special. Most of that will be hidden. The door panels mainly done in one piece, but as you could have seen in the instructions, some of the bits need to be done in orange or whichever contrasting color you'd like to see them. The panel lining is pretty nice and deep, so that should make it a bit easier, but nonetheless, it's pretty complicated. The shapes are pretty complicated in here, so it's not that easy to do. Definitely doable, but it does need a bit more work than on those expensive resin kits, where this would probably be a separate part or piece. Now there is a small sink mark here on the top. That is not really out of the ordinary for a kit of this price point, specifically the Revell ones. You will get some of those here and there, specifically on the bodywork and some of the corners and edges. Nothing really all that concerning, but it does require a bit more attention and also some work. Now for the center console, it is nicely detailed. Again, one big piece with all of the parts on there, but at least the main details are there. Something I would have expected to see done in a chrome plated version is the headlight buckets and the rear view mirror glasses, or glass for the side mirrors, but they are just done in plastic. Maybe this is an oversight in production. Maybe they decided not to do it at the last moment to save costs, but usually this is done in chrome. In this case, it's just bare plastic, so you need to paint those yourself. Then we also have some clear parts. I'm going to be leaving these in the plastic to preserve them as long as possible and lower the risk of scratching them as much as possible too. They look really nice, have a big edge here on the inside, so you can easily mask it off. I can really feel this with my fingernails, so masking it off, cutting it out should be pretty easy to get a nice clean cut. The rest of them look nice, crisp, clean, and very clear, as you're probably used to with these types of regular plastic model kits. So really good job there, Revell. So for the body work, we have the main body itself and some of the extra bits. So the extra bits I'm speaking of, the rear bumper, some of these side flaps that go on the front here, then the main rear quarter panels and the side mirrors. The main body itself also molded in orange, probably due to the complicated shape that these rear quarter panels are separate bits. Nonetheless, it looks pretty good. Nothing really wrong that I can see out of the box. The panel lines aren't really all that deep, so they do need a bit of scribing, and due to them probably leaving this quarter panel off, that prevents some of the ugly mold lines to be sanded off too. There are a couple small tiny ones here on the front, but nothing all that bad. And same on the other side, the panel lines need a bit of attention, but nothing that bad, and a little bit of scribing can't fix. The underside of the wing, there is a bit of a mold line here, nothing really bad, and it seems like it isn't really warped either, so that should be pretty doable during assembly, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm going to go through the instructions to see if I can glue these quarter panels on before assembling. That makes it a lot easier, a lot cleaner, but if I can't, then they'll have to be done later, but I'll get back to that in a little bit. Now, speaking of said quarter panels, they look pretty good too. It has a bit of ghosting on here, but nothing really all that bad. Speaking of some of those sink marks earlier, here on the bottom side of the mirror, there's a bit of a hole. It is in a pretty good space to hide it and do nothing with it. On the other side, it has one too. Now, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be. No, that's not supposed to be there. So that needs to be filled up. Rear bumper, most of the bits are molded in one. This bottom section either needs to be done in carbon fiber or just gloss or satin black. Then the top section needs to be done in the body color, so that requires a bit of attention, some creative masking, and a bit of work, but in general, nothing all that bad. So I'm going to go through the instructions and I get back to these. So it seems like you can glue them on before painting, but as you can see, we're a couple steps further down the line, and the interior needs to be put in before. And before you put the interior in, some of the radiator bits on the side need to be glued in, and I'm not really sure if those can be done afterwards, so I will be fiddling around with that a bit more later down the line, but you'll see that during the build. I'm not really sure if it's the best idea to glue them on before, but I'm gonna get back to you on that during the build itself. So for the tires, just like the wheels, the front tire, the rear tire, they have a weird molded in bit right here that needs to be cut out. So I'm going to do that and test fit the wheel. So on this back section, you have a lip that is on the wheel too, so that slides in place there. Now I do need to remove these a bit nicer so the wheel actually fits in, so I'll be right back. So with that now removed, the wheel should fit in. It's a bit of a tight fit. The rear is nice and flush, and so is the front. Now it looks pretty damn good, to be honest. So I might just use these ones. Maybe they look a bit weird next to the body, but there's a quarter panel missing there, so I'm going to do the fronts too. And now we have a front one as well. So same here, fits really nice on the inside and fits really nice on the front too. Now one thing that I've seen in the past with the Porsche 918 from many years back is that the front side of the tire, the actual front side that Revell decided was the front side, was a bit too wide, and the inside looked a lot nicer. So if there are some creative designers out there that can sort of flip this wheel around so you have this lip on this side and have the wheel face a bit bigger, and then simply just turn this around with this going in there right like that, if you get my drift, then you have a bit bigger of a wheel in the same tire that should fit the kit perfectly. But for now, this actually doesn't even look half bad. So I might just use these wheels, as like I've said, I really like the design of this wheel, and if I was going to go for an aftermarket wheel, it would pretty much look close or similar to this one anyway, so why bother changing it if this one is good? So for now, just a general can look at the wheel, not that bad, looking pretty good, and I'm really excited so far. Now let's go over the decals and finish off this unboxing. So as usual with Revell, a really nice and detailed, sorry, I was just a bit distracted here. Really nice and detailed set of decals. Now they're trying really hard to do some carbon fiber with these more modern kits. I've seen it done before, and they kind of missed the mark. It is close, it looks like carbon fiber, but it's just a bit too light. Now at least this is a really nice template just to cut out and transfer to some Scale Motorsport, Scale Production, or hobby design, or other kit manufacturer aftermarket decals you like. So that's really good to have. You could also just apply these and apply a light coat of tinted dark or smoke clear on top of it, just to tone them down a little bit so you don't have to make new decals, but at least they are in the kit and ready to go if you want to go this route. Now for the interior bits that I mentioned were a bit too complicated to mask off for most people, they have included pre-cut decals. Now again, these are orange, so if you don't want to go for orange, then that's a bit of a problem, and you can still paint them. But if you want to go for orange, then this is really, really nice to have. You can just stick them on, no complicated masking needs to be done whatsoever. As usual, you also get a ton of license plates, really nice and detailed and good to use, and a ton of other bits for around the interior, the engine bay, the calipers, the wheels, the emblems, the logos. Everything is here.